guys, what is up? StarWars55 here, and I'm bringing you another amazing Halo video. Oh man, I'm hyped today, guys. We're going to be having another Halo chat, as you saw. And I know I haven't done one of these in so freaking long, but I'm ready to delve back in onto a topic I've been thinking about for a while, and I think everyone has, to be honest. Today is also going to be a deep topic. The next Halo game. No, I don't just mean Halo 6. I mean what the very next Halo game might be. Such as something that has been circulating throughout the Halo community, Halo 5 ODST perhaps. Of course, that may not be the next Halo game. None of these may not be the next Halo game. This is all just speculation, guys. Remember that before I even begin. I don't have any evidence for any of this happening at all whatsoever. No proof. Zero. But it's fun to speculate about the next Halo game. I enjoyed it. I'm going to be talking about the next few Halos I see most likely to be released next. Now, the first thing to talk about for any Halo game is, when would it come out? Well, okay, that depends really. Now, the only thing I'm going to base all of this sauce is what we've seen in the past, and it brings me to the first possible selection for a Halo game. Halo 3 Anniversary. Yes, I know you guys know I was probably going to bring this up, and for good reason. I mean, we had Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary back in 2011, we had Halo 2 Anniversary back in 2014, of course it was part of the game that shall not be named, and it is still a very broken game, I might add. So it would seem plausible to have a Halo 3 Anniversary, right? Well, there is a yes and a no to this question. I'll explain both of them. I'll start with the negative. Now, if we were to see a Halo 3 Anniversary come out this year to coincide with the releases of the last two Halo Anniversary games that came out 10 years after the original did, don't you think that we would have seen something coming out of 343 Industries regarding to Halo 3 Anniversary? I mean, wouldn't they want to have told the fans to get them hyped up for another Halo game coming out in 2017? But, of course, we haven't heard much of anything from about Halo 3 Anniversary for 343 Industries. Sure, they could be keeping it a secret, but now just months away from what would be a likely release date, there is a huge chance that we won't see Halo 3 Anniversary, or at least nothing in respects to what we have seen before. Maybe at the most, we would see the game come out in 60 FPS with a multiplayer system and new maps, but that's about it. And even then, that isn't likely because the game that shall not be named had a revised Halo 3. It seems that we may not get a Halo 3 Anniversary from what we already have, and also the time that 343 Industries has to spend on Halo 6 not having time to produce two games at once. They are just one studio. And for one studio to produce a Halo game, or two Halo games, is just very hard to do. But there's a glimmer of hope for this possible game to become a reality. And it has to do with the love for Halo 3. Many channels that have also speculated about this usually bring up the points I did just a moment ago. Whether it be we already had a revised Halo 3, or 343 Industries is focusing on other things that just kicked Halo 3 Anniversary to the curb. But they don't bring up how amazing Halo 3 did. And Halo 3, in the first 12 days alone, it sold well over 3 million copies in just 12 days. And by 2008, it sold 8 million copies according to Microsoft. It also had amazing reviews across the board, never dropping below a 9 out of 10 by any game review websites out there. Halo 3 was a huge success for Halo, and that has only increased as the years have gone by, and even now the game looks amazing, although it is starting to show its age. 343 Industries has probably seen these numbers. Microsoft has definitely seen these numbers. They probably can see the success of a Halo 3 Anniversary, complete with new graphics, complete with new maps, new gameplay, everything. When you take in how successful Halo 3 was, it seems odd that we haven't heard anything about a Halo 3 Anniversary if it is being developed, and I have a theory as to why. Maybe 343 Industries is going to surprise us, soon possibly, that Halo 3 Anniversary is coming out on whatever date to really get the fans excited. Maybe they could reveal it at E3 2017. I think that this is a very plausible idea, and I would love to see Halo 3 in new graphics with an even better forge and new maps. While obviously wouldn't be as big as Halo 6 would be, it has so much potential to bring eyes back to Halo, especially with the successful launch of Halo Wars 2. Having another Halo game with the older art style done correctly can draw so many people back to Halo, both new and old, and possibly resolve some of the tension within. But like I said, I'm only a speculator on such events, and in the end, I really don't know. You guys can decide on what you think about Halo 3 Anniversary, but there's always a chance that we could get something totally new. Which leads me to my second hypothesis. Something similar to what Battlefield 1 had. Short campaigns highlighting key events in the Halo universe. These stories could show many different conflicts in the Halo universe without needing a whole game on it. Personally, I love the way Battlefield 1 had their campaign done. I was super impressed by the use of small stories to show a larger conflict. Maybe we could see battles during the Human Covenant War, jumping in between an ODST to a Spartan to maybe even a cop. And seeing the opposite side of things, playing as the Covenant and battling against our own species. I think this would be an amazing thing and can give many callbacks to older games, such as Halo 3 ODST with not playing as a Spartan all the time, and Halo 2 playing as the alien instead of the human. Maybe you can jump in from different conflicts from across all of Halo, from the Human Forerunner War to the events leading up to the Covenant, even events after Halo 3. The setup would be similar to what we saw in Battlefield 1. Short campaigns all linked to one another in one way or another. Wow, say that 3 times fast. Or maybe it could just be multiple strings of campaigns, maybe 5 levels long, that act as stories that further explain the events in Halo. Making these stories simple enough for a casual player to understand it would keep the game alive, while also putting in Easter eggs for die-hard Halo fans like me to sneak out and find and discover more about the Halo universe. This would be just amazing, in my opinion, and it would be a Halo I would have no problem buying. But when would this game come out if it was a possibility? Sadly, this game would most likely be released, if it were to be a thing, after Halo 6, possibly late 2019 at the earliest. It is a sad thought to be sure, and I may have gotten somebody excited for something that may not come around. And not to mention, the community really isn't asking for a game like this. It would be extremely hard to produce, and Battlefield 1 campaign itself was not really good. Its execution, in my opinion, was amazing, but the story itself was not as well, because you couldn't really attach to any characters. Luckily, I do have another idea as to what we may get. Halo 5 ODST is another game that you would think could come out soon. Although the title in my image is kind of misleading. This game would play out a lot like Halo 3 ODST did, maybe pulling out a small strand of Halo 5 and going into a lot of detail about it, much like how Halo 3 ODST took a small part from Halo 2 and expanded it to a whole new level of depth and storytelling. Now, the most likely strand from Halo 5 that this game could take would most likely be Meridian. And I know, guys, not exactly a strong point in Halo. Personally, I think it was one of the worst parts of Halo's campaign, worse than even Genesis. I could not replay those levels for anything. But from where I'm bringing this game, it could make Meridian more interesting. So this is why I'm calling this game not Halo 5 ODST, but Halo 5 Meridian. Now, warning guys, I'm about to hit you with quite a bit of story aspects, and this is just a really quick idea of what I would think. So again, there are probably flaws to this story, but it seems like a good pitch. Let's say you are one of the colonists that are on Meridian as a volunteer fighter when the Prometheans attack. Your squad is one of the very first squads to be attacked by the Prometheans, and all of your friends are torn down and killed almost immediately by the Prometheans. However, you are a lucky man, and was able to survive this first attack and get to cover, along with a few other soldiers, some from your company, some from others who also experienced a similar fate to yours. You managed to spot a Warthog in almost perfect condition. Problem is, there's an army of Prometheans between you and your ride home. This Warthog is a troop transport, and it's able to accompany all of your team. So after you tear through a huge amount of enemies, you reach the Warhog and get back to the camp and warn Governor Sloan about the attack. Now, obviously, he knows about the entire thing. Why the Prometheans are there. Hell, he's the reason why the Prometheans are there. And he tries to cover it up, but because he's going through rampancy and he is decaying rapidly, he slips up just a bit to get you suspicious. Let's say you're a detective and you're able to detect small details, and you notice something's off about what he told you. The rest of your team didn't catch this, but you convince your team to help you find out what he is hiding. And throughout the rest of the game, you discover exactly what is going on. Cortana, the Guardians, all of it. Unfortunately for you though, Governor Sloan finds out about this as well. And he sends in a surprise assault force of Prometheans, and your team is trapped. He realized that you discovered what was going on. You make your way once again back home, but this time you suffer casualties. Some of your team members are killed. By the time you're home, the events of Halo 5 Guardians is happening, as Fireteam Osiris jumps out of those teleporters inside the camp, as a Guardian rises from the ground and starts wreaking havoc across everything. You fight for a long time against the Prometheans, defending the space elevator, but it's all in vain. Eventually, the Guardian leaves the planet, and your camp is destroyed. The space elevator is destroyed. You see firsthand, as the player, the damage the Guardian really did, and you struggle to hang on to life. You're eventually taken down by the endless mob of Prometheans who are picking off any survivors, and the screen slowly fades to black. Pretty dramatic, right? 343 Industries can build brand new characters from this story, giving true detail, making you feel truly attached to this new squad. Just to watch them all get killed, one by one, almost like they did in Halo Reach. And you'll see this is very much like Reach's campaign. You could see what happens on Meridian, experience it, and eventually die with it. This would give Meridian so much more story. It would give people a reason why to like Meridian. It would also be another great way to get Halo back into the spotlight with a solid campaign that is story driven but also simple so everyone can understand it. It is an easy plot. The lines aren't exactly black and white either throughout the entire story, which is something I like. Although the line is not completely faded out and you can still tell who's truly an enemy or not. You can also throw in maybe some old-fashioned firefight into the game like you did in Halo 3 OST, being able to pick Waves of Covenants and Prometheans, and maybe some other enemies here and there, maybe from older Halo games. Now, this game would, again, come out after Halo 6, but there is a chance that it could come before it, maybe late spring of 2018 to maybe early 2019, something around there. Although, I don't see it really being anywhere during the winter or summer of 2018. Anyways, you guys decide which game you think will be the most likely, or if you think none of the above can become a true reality. Now, personally, I would be the most hyped for a multiple campaign game, just like Battlefield 1, although that is the least likely, but I wouldn't exactly cry if I saw Halo 3 Anniversary or Halo 5 ODST come out, or in my case, Halo 5 Meridian, or if all three games came out, I would be the happiest person alive. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to go and see more of my videos, check out my channel. Tell your friends about me. Subscribe if you want to stay updated on my channels. Hit the bell if you want to see when my videos come out right away. Have an amazing day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is for you. And I'll see you all later.
Sniper rifles on the field.
Shields down. Need support. Enemy spotted.
Five minutes remain.
Got a shotgun. Fire, moving. Found a sniper rifle. Hostile in the trench. Hostile sniper. Clean headshot. Picked up
10
a
seconds
DMR.
to sniper rifle.
Enemy in overhead. Sniper fire, moving. Heavy fire.
Sniper rifles ready.
Target in overhead.